Hey guys, it's Dave. I'm going to do a little update on the Goonies house, or really more, what is the access to the Goonies house? Um, Everybody knows the Goonies house, I hope, or if you're watching this video, here's a 20-second recap. This is the house from the movie The Goonies in Astoria, Oregon. It was obviously made famous by that movie. It's the home of Mikey and Brandon Walsh, uh, and kind of the really the first 15 minutes or so of the movie is kind of based out of this house as the boys find the treasure map, and then they escape from Brand, Mikey's older brother, to go on a hunt for the rich stuff. So it's quite a local tourist site in Astoria, Oregon. Sorry about the camera there, guys. Um, Over the years, Goonies fans have come from around the world to visit Astoria, Oregon. It's a wonderful, wonderful community. Lots of history, lots of sites, lots of film history. If you're into a lot of the '80s films, Kindergarten Cop and Short Circuit, Free Willy, The Goonies, just to name a few. But I think the big highlight is coming to the Goonies house here in Astoria, Oregon. This house is privately owned, as well as Data's house right across the street. And the problem is too many Goonies fans have shown up over the years, and they have just absolutely just overwhelmed the owners in that area with their visits, leaving a lot of garbage behind, leaving a lot of just trash, being disrespectful. I've read online that they've actually gone up onto the porch, peeked in the windows of the house, overlooked the porch, which is just crazy to think that people would have the guts to go out on somebody's house and property like that. But they do. And unfortunately, that has created a situation where the current owner has had to go to some extreme measures over the years, from putting up blue tarps, and this was after the big anniversary event Astoria had. Thousands of people at her house, again overwhelming it, and she understandably did not like her privacy being violated like that. So she put these blue tarps to kind of dissuade people from showing up to the house. And then once the blue tarps went away, they started looking at sign options. How can they keep the house private? So they started putting up these signs, and it's hard to read. They say, "Do not drive or walk up to view or take photos of the Goonies house. Private drive. Police will be called. No turnaround." This replaced a posted "No trespassing, keep out." This replaced a little nicer sign that welcomed Goonies up to the house as long as they stayed on the driveway. But this is the sign that got put up, and there's, I think, been a couple versions of it since then. And I don't have a problem with them wanting to keep people off their property. No problem whatsoever. It's private property. I mean, I want my house to be private. Their house should be too. But I do have a problem with is posted "No trespass," a private drive. The private drive I have a major problem with. This is the county assessor site, and for those of you who don't know, the county assessor is the keeper of all the land records for the county. This is Clatsop County, where Astoria, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's where Astoria, Oregon is, where the Goonies house is. And the Goonies house is right here off of 38th Street. The problem I have is the sign is located right down here at Duane Street and 38th Street. Posted, private drive, no trespassing, police will be called. This is where I have the problem with it. You can sign your personal properties any way you want. I will never, I won't say boo about that. But when you try to sit there and claim city property as private, that's where we got to kind of get a little clarification. 38th Street Drive, this gravel driveway, steep, leading all the way up here to the houses, is a public street. It might be privately maintained by these folks. Maybe they do gravel grading. I don't know. But this is all public right-of-way. All this whole area right here is all public right-of-way. It's all public streets. I might use that term interchangeably. Right-of-way means streets. This is an old alleyway, probably. It's public. This is an alleyway. It's public. All this. It's all public streets and alleys. They were never improved, meaning they were never paved or graveled or whatever, but they still were platted in a way that these were dedicated by the original developer of this area to become part of the city. Private streets or public streets, public alleyways. So right now, the way it's set up is anybody can walk up here, take their pictures, from this area of the house, Data's house, as long as they stay in this area. Now, if you go past these yellow lines, which represent the property lines, then you're trespassing. So you've got to stay in the public right-of-way space to be legal. Yes, they can call the cops on you if you walk up 38th Street there. But if you come armed and you check out the county website, the Clatsop County Assessor page, and verify that it's still there, you have every right to be there. The police will probably ask you to leave. You should get your last picture and move along. They might be able to get you for loitering or some other, no standing or whatever the local ordinances say. But they really can't stop you from walking up and down it all day long. As long as you're not just standing there camped out for, ever. You can technically drive up it. I wouldn't recommend it. To turn around, you'd probably be turning around using private property, and then you're trespassing. So I would walk up. You're unfortunately you have to walk a few blocks, but we're all, for the most part, fat Americans, and walking a couple blocks is not going to hurt you or anybody else. So park a couple blocks away, walk up, get your picture, get your video, and then move along. You don't need to camp out there for a half hour. Definitely, if you take garbage in, take garbage out. If you see some garbage as you're walking down, pick it up. I mean, it only takes 2 seconds to pick up a little piece of paper. Keep the area clean so the area stays open. Now, over the years, according to the local newspapers, and some council minutes that I reviewed, they have talked about closing this. And to do that, they have to vacate it, meaning they call it a vacation, a street vacation, meaning it goes from a public street to public property. Once it's closed as a public street, you then lose the ability to clearly drive up it, but you also may lose some access to it because being public property is different than being a public street. Depending on the state you're in, they can put some more local regulations on you to keep you off public property, but not a public street. That has not happened yet. If it had happened and this map was updated, this would be a separate, its own parcel, its own city-owned parcel, just like all these pieces. Instead of being privately owned, it'd be a city-owned parcel. But as long as it's still right-of-way, again, you still have the right to walk up it. If the vacation process does happen, the city could then sell pieces of it to these owners that use it, and then it would truly be a private access, and you could not, if you walked up it, you'd be trespassing. This has not happened yet. As of 12/21/2020, it's still street right away. So walk up it, enjoy it, and get out. You got a great view of the Goonies house from Duane Street right in this area. These two houses here. You can stand right here on the sidewalk. You get a great view of the Goonies house. You don't have to go up it. You can also get a pretty good view from across Leif Erikson Drive. This is from the deleted scene. Well, it's where we see Rosalita in the opening credits crossing the streets. That stop and save little snack shop, and it's where the boys are at in the deleted scenes. It's now a coffee shop. Really good coffee, really good sandwiches. Go in there. Support local. So you have a lot of opportunities to see it from a couple different other areas that are not closed. But again, you see this little sign down here, the sign showing you earlier, the no trespassing signs. These aren't official as of today. So they're put up by the homeowners that I'm sure are frustrated, and I do understand their frustration. But again, to claim it's a private drive, I don't think is completely accurate yet, according to the county assessor site. So come armed with information if you're going to go up to the house. Be respectful. If the police do show up, just make sure you have a printed copy of this or have this on your phone. And, you could say, hey, the county assessor shows it's still public, and I'm just, I'll move along. I'll get out of here. I was just going off county records, so I didn't know. You can play kind of dumb. But that's the Clatsop Clatsop County Assessor website. This is a base GIS map, real easy to Google. You can find all this stuff. So that is the update to the Goonies House access. You can walk up it, you can drive up it. I highly recommend walking up, not driving up. Stay off the private property, which is the yellow lines here, and you will be okay. But again, this video is not encourage you to do it. It's just given the facts of the current situation. And if the situation should change, I'll make sure to update a new video and or update this video at least and kind of explain what had happened and why the access is closed. But again, please enjoy the Goonies House. Be respectful of the private property owners, and make sure you see all the other sites in Astoria, Oregon. It's a beautiful town in a beautiful region of the state, in a beautiful region of the county or the country. I can't think of a better place to visit than this area. So there you go, guys. Please don't hate the video. These are just the facts of the situation. And again, I'm not attacking the owners for wanting their privacy, but I also want to make sure that the information is accurate. When I say the Goonies House is closed, it is not closed. Access to this is not closed. The Goonies House is 100% closed. But viewing it from the outside, it's perfectly legal today. Again, just be respectful of the private property. All right, guys, long enough I've talked. Hope that makes sense of the situation out there. And again, I hope to update this video should the situation change. Thanks, guys.